You've always been a bald-headed scallywag. Like, people literally know you because you're always the one with short hair and you're tired of being that, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm not really going to go too much over products that you need to use because I feel like y'all have used so many products. Like, how many videos have you watched and then you went out and bought the product and you're still bald years later, you know? Well, this kind of used to be me because when I was a kid, I went back and forth from having long hair to cutting it off to having it grow a bit long, then damaging it with things like relaxers and treatments and stuff. But what I learned about me is that I'm always able to grow my hair back. So a couple of years ago, I cut all of my hair off. Like, I was a bald-headed scallywag and it was hard for me, but my hair, it got damaged because I did like a treatment to it and I had a low iron, so it was falling off. But the reason I didn't hesitate to cut all of my hair off and be a bald-headed scallywag was because I know that if I know anything, I know how to grow back a head of hair. I think the most important thing to know is that, like, as Black women, a lot of people think, even ourselves, that we cannot grow long hair and we're just destined to have short hair. Maybe a lot of us have internalized this message, so we look at us, having short hair all the way from you were a baby till your teen years, till your adult years, and even until your grandma years with short hair. Like, we think that that is normal. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm just Black, I'm not mixed, I'm not whatever. And that's why having short hair, it feels so normal to them. But I'm here to tell you, it does not matter if you're 4C, 4B, type 3, whatever. You can grow long hair as long as you're alive. All you have to really do to grow long hair is to not die, because your hair is growing on average about half an inch per month. So if you cannot die, then you can grow long hair. So in this video, I want to share with you guys the things that I've learned after cutting my hair off bald like 3 times in the last few years and being able to grow it back longer each and every time. The first thing is, I want y'all to ignore literally 99% of advice out there on the internet, because people are telling you what works for them. They're not telling you what's going to work for you. And that's why you're still bald after so long and so many videos that you guys watch. We have to look at our hair as like a relationship, right? You can get advice and stuff about your relationship from other people, but it should never be something that you follow exactly to the T, because everybody's hair and their relationship with their hair is different. Now, how do we build a good relationship, right? It's about communication. So every time you're doing your wash day, you got to look at it like a phone call, or like you're talking to your hair or something like that. What is your hair trying to tell you? If your hair is breaking off, okay, or if your hair is shedding, like you see the white bulb at the end, then that is your hair trying to communicate with you. You don't need to go and watch a TikTok on, what product to buy. You need to actually just sit down with your hair and figure out what was going on. Now, for me, the reason I cut my hair off a couple years ago is because my hair was falling out and it was shedding like a dog, okay? And the reason why is because I had low iron, and I kept kind of ignoring that until it got to the point where I could no longer ignore it. And I did a treatment to my hair called a nanoplasty. It's like a similar to a keratin treatment, but kind of different. And I was like looking at other people's videos and saying, okay, well, this worked for them. But I ignored the direct line of communication that my hair had with me, that it was already shedding, And so I kind of added fire to the flame until it started shedding to the point where I said, you know what, I'm going to cut it off, right? So when you are doing your wash day, guys, a lot of you guys like push it off for so long. If you have a relationship and you haven't talked to that person in weeks, do you think the next time that you talk to them is going to be sweet? No, okay? You're going to encounter a lot of friction and a lot of tension. So when it comes to your hair, I want you to treat the wash day and what your hair is telling you as a guiding light more than anybody else's advice out there. Because the thing is, a lot of people are selling you things. Like, I be looking at some things online and I'm like, you have to say that because you're selling your hair care line or you're selling your ebook. Look, I used to sell ebooks, okay? No shade. But you have to see, if somebody is selling you a dream, it requires you to be asleep, okay? So wake up. And that wake up call is going to be on wash day. If you're seeing shedding, breakage, if your hair is dry as the Sahara Desert, these are all messages that your hair is telling you. I know that we're told that hair is dead, and I get it, but this dead hair is connected to a lot in society, it's connected to a lot in terms of our image. So you're gonna have to treat that dead hair as if it's alive and well, honey. Every time I do my hair, I always speak positively to my hair. And this may be a little bit woo woo, but I see on TikTok a lot of people like, oh, my hair could never, or whatever. I need you to take that out of your vocabulary because if you're always looking at your hair as something like, oh, I could never do that. Oh, I don't like doing my hair. I hate wash days. Oh, I'm putting it off as long as I can. There's a part of you that really is absorbing that messaging. So, wash day you might as well call it war day, right? Because that's when you're going toe to toe with your hair. Well, what do you expect when you've been like talking badly about it all this time, right? Wash day is like communication day, right? It's going to be hearing what you said to it, and you're going to be hearing what it has to say to you. And if you've been putting it off, putting wash day off so long, your hair might have some words with you. And then that's why you feel that you don't want to do wash day. I wouldn't if my hair was dragging me through the mud, right? When it comes to wash day, a lot of people ask like how often should I wash my hair? Now, for me personally, I like to wash my hair once a week. There's a thing in the black community where people feel like dirty hair grows. They feel like because we're black, we don't have to wash our hair as much. And look, our hair doesn't need to be washed as much as other people, but some people are confusing wash day with like the only job of wash day is to clean the dirt off or something. When really what wash day is the perfect time to infuse moisture into your hair. Because moisture and hydration, these things come from water. And when we do wash day, we're drenching our hair in water. Our hair is absorbing all of that, and that's going to get us through the week. A lot of y'all don't really want to do wash day too often because it's a struggle because you put it off for so long, right? But the less that we put off that wash day, actually the easier our wash day becomes. Even for me, I know my hair likes to be washed twice a week, okay? But I put it off to just one time a week because I don't know, it works with my schedule. But once or twice, I feel like is ideal. Now, if you don't want to wash your hair once a week, that's fine. Didn't I say earlier, don't be listening to everybody's advice on the internet because they're only saying what works for them? If it works for you washing your hair once a month, that's fine. But if you're a bald headed scallywag all your life and you don't want to change anything up, okay, then that might be a problem, right? Because the results that you have now is a result of everything that you've been doing. If it works for you and it's been working, then keep doing it. But if it's not working, you might want to have to change something. And that could be washing your hair once a week instead of once a month, right? But of course, it is up to you. Some people, the reason that you're a bald headed scallywag is because you're a bit too rough on your hair, right? I get it that sometimes curly hair can be frustrating if it's tangled and stuff like that, but you still have to be gentle because that is breakage. And if your hair is growing, but it's also breaking off as fast as it's growing, like that's why you're not really seeing length and you're like, oh, my hair is always stuck at my shoulders. Well, maybe it's always stuck at your shoulders because you're always rough with it and is always breaking and it can't really get to where it needs to go because you keep stopping it in its tracks, right? So wash day, time to be gentle, time to be loving. And I feel like the only way that you get to the point where you're gentle and loving with your hair is for you to stop looking at your hair like it's against you, right? Your hair is not casted as a cast member of baddies, okay? Your hair is actually on your side, but it's not going to give you what it's not getting in return, right? I always like to say type 4 hair especially is bougie, honey. It's not going to take any old treatment. It's not going to take anything off the shelf, right? It actually demands the best, and if you don't give it the best, it's not gonna stick around, I'm sorry. So I feel like changing your identity and your relationship with your hair is really important. Like, I want you guys to write down every negative thing that you have said about your hair and find a way to flip that into a positive. I know for me, I used to be frustrated because, I would sleep on my hair, and when I would wake up, it would still be like this. And I would get so upset because I was like, why are you still like that, right? Why are you like, "Hey Arnold," when I wake up. But I started looking at that like as a positive, like, wow, I don't even need hairspray. My hair just stays that it is. That's so cool. Like nobody else can do that, right? When it comes to shrinkage, we look at that as a negative thing. We're like, oh, I hate when my hair shrinks, whatever. But we can start looking at that as, oh my God, my hair is so versatile. I can wear it curly, I can wear it straight. It absorbs water so well. Like, when my hair sometimes it's all over the place, I'm like, wow, this literally looks like the trees and nature, right? When you start looking at your hair as a positive, your hair will actually, behave positively. I saw somebody say on TikTok, like, I don't love my hair because it's long. My hair is long because I love my hair. And I feel like changing your mindset in that way is what makes it so that you're never a bald headed scallywag again. Now let's talk about wash day and the routines that we have. So when it comes to wash day, the products that I use, I always use Olaplex number 3. That is my ride or die. Like I love that. I will buy it each time. I use Olaplex number 3 before shampooing. And after shampooing, I use Apogee 2-minute hair reconstructor. Now, both of these are like protein treatment bond builders, okay? A lot of people feel like, oh, I don't really need a bond builder because I'm not chemically processing my hair, or I don't know what they say. They say something like that, okay? But the thing about bond builders is that your hair actually gets damaged from more than just chemical damage or heat damage or something like that. There's mechanical damage. Whenever you brush your hair, okay, whenever you lay on it, whenever it's on your shirt, these are things that create damage to your hair or to the bond. So, our hair is made up of different types of bonds, and the stronger that these bonds are, the healthier our hair is. That's why I use a bond builder because I want to make sure that no type of damage, whether it's mechanical, heat, chemical, whatever, is affecting my hair. Now, Olaplex is not a protein treatment at all, but I don't even want you guys to be scared of protein treatments. Like, I feel like with protein treatments, it's not really about whether or not you use a protein treatment, it's about how often you do it. If you're using it every week, that might be too much, but if you're only using it once a year, that might be too little, right? Again, look at your results. Are you happy with the results that you got from your routine so far? If not, you might need to switch it up instead of like defending what you've been doing because it ain't working. That's why you're still bald, right? So for me, I use the Olaplex every single week, every single wash day. I use Olaplex number 3. And for my Apogee 2-minute hair reconstructor, I use that about once a month. For the shampoos, the most important shampoo to have is a moisturizing shampoo, but I don't want you to only use a moisturizing shampoo. I mean, a lot of people don't even know that there's two different types, but the other type is a clarifying shampoo. Now, when you are out and about, guys, everything damages your hair, right? The sun damages your hair. Even, like, the pollution in the air and stuff isn't that good on your hair, and it's all building up. So the reason that we have a clarifying shampoo is to give our hair a fresh start. With a clarifying shampoo, we're just giving ourselves a clean base because when all of that stuff is, like, building up on your hair, you actually can't even get the next week's products to penetrate your hair. So that's why a lot of you feel like, "I'm using the products, I'm layering it on, I'm doing all of these 4, 5, 10 different things, and my hair still feels dry." Well, you might need to clarify it because all of the buildup is preventing your other products from getting in. So I use a clarifying shampoo like every 2 weeks, to be honest, and I use the Way clarifying shampoo. Now, I only use it every 2 weeks because I usually silk press my hair every 2 weeks or so, or blow dry it or something. And so I need a clean base. But maybe if you're a curly girl, I don't know, you might only need it once a month. How am I supposed to know? I'm not doing your hair each time, right? You have to figure out your routine. If you use a lot of products, maybe you need a clarifying shampoo more often. If you silk press, maybe you need it more often. If you don't really use a lot of products, maybe you only need it once a month. I don't know. That's for you to decide. When it comes to my moisturizing shampoo, I use Keracare. I love this one, guys. It's so moisturizing and it doesn't strip your hair. So I use my clarifying shampoo first, and then I use my moisturizing shampoo right after. I'm doing 2 or 3 shampoos in the same wash day. Now, when it comes to shampoo, this is where most of your hydration is coming in at this step. So, this is typically where you want to see your curls are popping already. I'll try to put a video on the screen of what my hair looks like when I'm shampooing it. The reason being is because your curls are popping whenever the moisture is maximally getting in there, right? So if you still feel like after your shampoo, your curls aren't really popping like that, don't rely on the conditioner to make them pop because they probably will not. I want you to put more water and more moisture in your hair, right? Because a lot of times when you look at the salons on TikTok and stuff, they're drenching your hair constantly with water. So when it comes to shampooing, You want to shampoo it, still drenched in water. Rinse it out, still drenching it in water. Look, I'm sorry to the planet, but we're using a lot of water for this, okay? And just when you think you've added enough water, I want you to add some more. So then when you get to the conditioning stage, it really is just about locking in the moisture that you already got from when you were shampooing. For the shampoo, what I like to use is the one from Design Essentials. I'll put that on the screen. And then after the conditioner, what I like to do is I blow dry my hair. So really I only use a heat protectant and I blow dry my hair every time that I wash it. Now I am a blow dry natural or a straight natural. I do both, okay? I usually don't wear my hair out like this. Actually, I'm about to silk press it tomorrow. I'm just waiting on my heat protectant. Um but I like to blow dry my hair because I don't like to deal with curly hair and single strand knots and all the stuff that comes with having it curly. For me, my hair, it likes to be stretched out. Now, you don't have to blow dry it to stretch it. You can stretch it even while it's curly, right? And there's ways to do that. This ain't the video for that. That's why I'm saying do what works for your hair because a lot of people have been taught that putting heat in your hair means damage, but it's not if you know how to do it correctly. Because some people, and y'all know you've been natural. I saw a video the other day. She's like, I've been natural for 5 years. I said, where did the years go? Because I didn't really see the results of that. So it's not that if you wear your hair natural, it's long, and if you wear your hair blown out or straight, it's going to be short. That's not how it works. If you want to know the heat protectants I use to where I have my hair straight or blown out every time, but my curls still look good like this, then I use the Chi and I use the Chi Iron Guard and I use the Chi Infrared Infusion, something like that. And tomorrow I have the Amika Blockade coming and the Mika the Shield, which I heard really good things about as well. When I do wear my hair curly, which is rarely, the only product I use after deep conditioning it, and I don't do regular conditioner, I just do shampoo, deep conditioner. I use flaxseed gel. Now, flaxseed gel is one of the best things that you can use to detangle your hair, as well as one of the best gels that you could use to define your curls. It's all natural and you don't have to spend a lot of money on it. Flaxseed gel is extremely moisturizing. So if you're dealing with hair that you feel is hard to detangle, do the flaxseed, honey. It will get you right every time. And if you feel like your curls are never popping, put the flaxseed gel after you condition and your curls will be popping and hydrated. The most important thing is like don't use too many things. I use 5 products max. This is going to save your bank account and this is also going to make it really simple for your hair too because a lot of times you're using too many products and you can't figure out which one is keeping you bald, because it could be that your hair doesn't like one, but how do you know which one when you have 10, 15? I don't even know how y'all are having the money for that, to be honest, because these products are so expensive nowadays. That's why I like to keep it cute and keep it simple and just use maybe 5. When you do have your routine, I want you to stick to it. Like, I don't really switch it up that much with my hair at all because when you find something that works, find something that works, right? But also, sometimes people can be switching up too quickly. Like, if they don't see that a product is working right away, then they're like, "Oh, let me get rid of it and get a new product." Like, no, take your time with something. And that's why I only like to add one new product at a time, give it a couple uses. Like I just was doing the Color Wow Dream Coat and I think I used it 3 times before making my decision, and I decided it wasn't worth it for me personally. And that's the benefit of having a really simple routine is like you could find out very quickly if something is worth your money or not and whether it works. The last thing I want to say about products is stop worrying about whether or not a product is marketed as a black product. If you can, I want you to start looking at things like ingredients and seeing if those ingredients are good rather than just if the product is marketed as black. Now, I use a lot of products that are marketed as black. Like I'm pretty sure like Keracare and Design Essentials are like considered black products, but I also use Olaplex, and a lot of people think, "Oh, Olaplex is not for the girls," and, like, it really is because of the ingredients, not because that's how they market it, right? So if you have a product that you really, really like, it's like your holy grail, I want you to turn it around, look at the ingredients, and see what they are, and then when you get a new product, you might wanna see, does it have the same ingredients as the holy grail product or similar ones or something, and then you could use that to determine whether or not you want to add a product. Like, for me, I know if a product has aloe vera in it, I'm like, okay, I definitely want it. And I tend to steer clear of products that have like alcohol in it. I know my heat protectant does, but Other than that, I don't like a lot of alcohols, okay? I know for me, I like, plant-based humectants in my product. Anything plant-based, like, I like the Kinky Curly Not Today or something. I like the Eco Slay product line, like, anything is natural and has aloe vera, marshmallow root, things like this, I know that my hair likes that, right? So I gravitate towards that. Now on to one of the most important parts of my journey with growing my hair back this last time that I cut it off. Guys, I used to be a natural hair warrior. I mean, you guys might know I had a channel all about natural hair. I sold like hundreds and hundreds of copies on my natural hair care book. And I was like natural all day. I actually didn't like wearing wigs, weaves, any of that. But when I cut my hair off this last time, I really didn't want to be bald. Like I was over my TWA stage because I've done that so many times before. And it was the first time I actually like was like I'm going all in and really figuring out how to grow my hair in protective styles. Now, when it comes to these protective styles, a lot of you guys think that things are protective because we have been told that they are, but they might not be, right? So, what makes a protective style? Remember the advice I told you earlier, stop listening to people, stop listening to me even. If a hairstyle is protecting your hair, then that's your protective style. Now, for me, that was wigs and that was boho braids. So with wigs, I always did V-part wigs, and I did I mean, even when I cut my hair off the first time, guys, I cut everything off except for a part in the middle. Because I was like, I'm doing my V-part wigs, okay? And I also liked boho braids, but with the boho braids, I didn't add any synthetic hair. I just used my own hair and then I added human hair to extend it because that boho kanekalon whatever hair, it's tearing y'all up, and some people don't like to admit it, but that could be a reason that your hair is in protective style, but, you know, it's not really doing what it needs to do, because even when people get, like, cornrows for wigs, they add the kanekalon hair, and that rough hair is tearing y'all up, okay? Because our strands, we like to think that type 4 is so strong and can do anything, and sure, maybe, but it's also like, don't think that it's so strong that it can just put up with anything and everything. A lot of y'all black women, like, people treat you like that, and you treat your hair like that in return. No, it could take things, it's strong, but up to a certain point. And if you do the Kanekalon hair too much, guys, I don't know. Maybe it works for you. It didn't work for me because it was too rough. The reason I like the boho braids, and I think it's one of the best protective styles, is because if you knew me before, I used to always say mini braids and mini twists. That was my thing. Well, you can have that mini braids look, but you can put the boho pieces. Or you can have the sew-in look. I'll put some pictures on the screen. You can have the sew-in look, but you're still able to access your scalp completely. You're still able to spray your real hair, and you can still have the sew-in look. So that's why boho braids without any synthetic hair is my favorite protective style, and like it literally helped my hair grow so much because it's the same as doing mini braids or something. Now with the wigs, okay, the V-part wigs, a lot of y'all are trying to get super bust down, like, Vietnamese straight hair, and that's why your leave out is getting fried, right? And so if you're gonna do that really straight, better to just get a closure wig, which I've done before, but I didn't like the screen door look too much. I don't know, it didn't look good on me, okay? So that's why I like the V part, but just try to get something where it matches your hair texture, or maybe you only need to blow out your hair rather than straightening it. Or I also did something where I like did the braids in the front and then that was my hair and then the rest was straight. You got to figure out what works for you. But those are protective styles that work for me. But the important thing is that protective styles are a tool. So don't put your hair into protective style and then neglect it. When I was in my V-part wig, and I got my V-part customized so that I didn't have to use the clips because those clips hurt you and they will leave bald spot, right? So I got it customized to where even I could just put it on and put a bobby pin and it would stay, but I like to sew down my V-part wigs personally. So I would take my V-part wig off once a week and then I would wash my hair, do my whole routine, braid it back up, and then put my V-part wig back on. But I viewed wigs and weaves and stuff. I don't really like sew-ins. I've done it before, but I don't know. I do my hair at home and the sew-ins didn't feel that protective to me. But the thing about protective styles is I viewed it actually as a sacrifice. So remember what I was saying earlier that we have to change how we view our hair. Our hair is the real prize. A lot of people they put in protective styles and they're like, "Oh, now I'm dressed up because I have a wig on or weave in." No, our hair is actually the real prize. I promise you most of you guys look better wearing your natural hair, right? And so I looked at it as a sacrifice and something that I needed to do and care for my hair underneath so I could finally be able to wear it out once it gets to the length that I want. It only took me about a year and a half for it to get to the length that I wanted, and now, like, I don't really wear wigs and weaves that much because I don't know, I just feel like my hair is the actual prize, like, that I wanna show, all this hard work. It's like we do all this hard work and it's like protective style, but, like, sometimes it's like you gotta let it out. Don't let your protective style become your identity. Use it as a tool, use it as something that is gonna get you to your goal. But if you've been protective styling for like 3 years and your hair still isn't there, then we need to change up something in the routine because now this might be becoming more of an identity than a tool to grow your hair. So do not neglect your hair in the protective styles. I've made that mistake before and it's one that you could fall into because I don't know, sometimes it's like we have better things to do, but I don't want us to look at our hair like, oh, I have to do it. It should be more so like, I enjoy spending time with my hair. I enjoy getting to do it, getting to feel it, getting to show it. And if I put it in a wig or braids or whatever is a temporary thing because I feel like it, not because I feel like I have to do it to be pretty or dressed up or I can't wear my hair out or whatever, right? It's just a tool. It's not an identity. And lastly, the number one way to stop being a bald headed scallywag, literally for good, is to change your identity. If you feel like you've been having short hair for so long that that has become who you are, you just always see yourself with short hair and you never thought that you could do anything differently. Like, I literally want you to, this is what I did. I'm a bit extra, but I would like Photoshop my hair when it was short and have it look long, like in the picture, right? Or if you have AI, you can literally do that too. And you can put a picture on your mirror of you with long hair so that even when you're brushing your short hair and stuff, you're looking at the future you and being like, that's who I am, like, that's how my hair is, and you're changing essentially your self-concept and your hair concept to say, "No, I'm actually that girl who always has long hair." And you might not be there yet, I mean, you're definitely not, but when you do get there, you're gonna look at that fake picture and then look at you and be like, "Wow, they finally align," okay? But you have to develop that self identity, that self concept first. And then everything that you do in your actions will align with somebody who has long hair. It doesn't matter your genetics. Genetics only play a role in how fast your hair can grow. But even if your hair is growing like zero point 0.2 inches per month or something like that, well, over 5 years, you're still going to have some inches. And if you don't, that's actually a you problem. So you have to be a good steward of whatever genetics that you got. Just take care of it, right? It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter like your hair type. I don't even follow the hair typing system. It doesn't matter. I don't even follow the low porosity, high porosity. Like a lot of that stuff, it really doesn't even make sense. Like the test that they tell you to do is not even the right test, okay? I don't follow a lot of the traditional things, the natural hair community, all that stuff and I'm still able to grow my hair and retain length each time after I cut it. This is because in my eyes and in my mind, I'm always the girl who has hair, right? And if I don't, like if I lost my hair tomorrow, I would still be like, oh, okay, I gotta grow it out again, right? Because that's my self concept. So I feel like you are who you say you are, especially if you're a woman, like you're literally a creator. You can literally create your life, especially as a woman. Take that seriously. This is like character customization. Choose your character, choose your player, right? And you're the player who has long hair. That's just what it is. It might take a couple of years to catch up. Your hair grows on average 6 inches a year. So I want you to look at your hair. How long have you been growing it out? If it's not 6 inches per year, you might want to change up something in your routine with your length retention. Okay. You might have certain phases. You might cut it off because you want to, but you'll never feel stuck in the position that you're in with your hair if you follow this advice. I realized I forgot to say a few things. Like, one, stress. If you have been stressed for years, that could be a reason why your hair has stayed at the same length. Because when you have things like high cortisol, like your body's not going to put resources into something that it sees as, not really necessary, such as hair growth. All your body's energy and resources is going into keeping you, alive and essentially in survival mode. So if you've been stressed for years, that could be a really big reason why your hair is actually not growing. Another thing, don't let people talk crazy about you or your hair, and make sure you watch who you're around. I feel like if you're hanging out with like five other bald-headed scallywags, then you're soon to be the sixth one, right? So the people that you're hanging around with, if their language is always very negative when it comes to hair, if their beliefs are always very limited when it comes to hair, like you're naturally absorbing their patterns and their mindsets and their energy around your hair. And that could actually be keeping you stuck. So, if you don't have friends around you who love their hair, take care of their hair, have grown their hair to a certain length, then you just might want to curate your algorithm to be those people if you actually don't really have that. Like, I didn't have that when I was young. So, for me, it was just like looking at certain YouTubers online that had my hair type. Don't be looking at 2C when you got 4Z, right? You want to look at people with your same hair type. Now, I don't do the whole hair typing system because I don't think that it really matters. But I have type 4 hair, so I look at 4A, 4B, and 4C in order to curate my algorithm. You also have to watch the people that you're going to when you're in the salon as well, because your hair can actually absorb their energy too. Because a lot of these hairstylists, like I will never go to a hairstylist that's bald or that doesn't have longer hair than me, because it's like, what do you have going on if you cannot take care of your hair? Because a lot of stylists are very scissor happy, and I actually fell victim to this before too. And it's like because they don't value having long hair, they're very quick to overcut somebody else's hair. A lot of stylists, like I remember when I got my first sew-in, that stylist was very rough. She was detangling with a fine tooth comb, and all the years that I spent taking care of my hair, like other people aren't going to have that same reverence for your hair. So I encourage you to be very, very particular about who you go to do your hair. And if you can learn to do your hair at home, I feel like that's the best thing. I do all my hair at home. I do my bohos, I do my sewing, my wig. I know how to make a wig from scratch. Like I know how to do my own natural hair. Like because nobody is going to care for your hair as much as yourself. Also, if you are sitting in the seat with a stylist and they start doing something crazy, something that you don't feel comfortable with, you feel like they're not really respecting your hair, and they're definitely not respecting the money that you paid, then speak up for yourself and leave. I wish that I would have done that so many times that I went to a hairstylist, but I didn't. I don't know why. I just thought, oh, well, they're the professional. Honey, that girl who did my sew in, she said she had been doing sew ins for like 8 years or 9 years or something, and it looked so bad. Like, I wish I had a picture, but it was not flat. It was like two big humps, two big giant booties on top of my head, right? It's literally like this. And I went home and watched some YouTube videos, and I did a better sew in like after a few days of watching YouTube videos. So oftentimes we think that these stylists are like perfect, but they're not. They're just humans and they're doing things the way that has worked for them or their previous clients. But like I said earlier, that might not apply to you. And if they have bad energy, a lot of times these stylists are jealous too, and they're messing up your hair because they have something going on with them, right? And it might not be intentional, it might be subconscious, but if you always feel disappointed leaving the salon, it might be time to learn, your signature hairstyle yourself. If you're watching this, you're tired of being bald headed, you've been bald headed all your life, you played them games before, and you're ready to step into a new look, do not let anybody make you feel bad about wanting long hair. Long hair is something that is a universal beauty standard. I don't care if our hair grows bigger or voluminous. Only way that you're even going to get that big voluminous look is by your hair having more length, right? The longer it is, the more volume it is. When I was a hair YouTuber, I got these comments a lot and actually made a full video on it of like, is wanting long hair wanting to be white, wanting to be Eurocentric? Because a lot of you guys, you kind of settle for short hair because you said, well, that I'm black. That's just how it is. Our hair isn't long. Our hair doesn't do that, right? And that kind of subconsciously keeps you back. So if you like having short hair, that's fine. But if you are on a long hair journey, do not let anybody make you feel bad about that. Long hair is beautiful. It is a universal beauty standard. And if that's what you want to look like, then yes, you can put in the work to look like that. There is nothing Eurocentric about wanting long hair because black hair grows long anyways. Even if you have it in locks, it would still grow long, right? So don't feel scared of that. I know some people feel that and we absorb these negative messages around our desires for our hair. But if long hair is something that you want, finally want, then I believe that all the things in this video can help you get there. It's just a matter of consistently doing the right things, right? It might take you a couple years. To be honest, it shouldn't really take you longer than 2 years to get to like below shoulder length or something because that's 12 inches. You just have to keep the consistency and keep the faith when you cannot see it already in the mirror, right? But it is coming as long as you do the things in this video. If you guys have any more questions, just comment it down below. Other than that, guys, I'll talk to you later.